Another episode of White Heat on the Air, presented by Godzilla Media, sponsored in part by our good friends over at Mohawk Honda, where I've been telling about the Kelly Blue Book Instant Cash offer that was going on throughout the spring. And if you see the commercials on TV for them, as well as their sister dealership, Mohawk Chevrolet, they're still giving you tremendous fair deals for your trade ins every day, all day, or stop, swipe it, reverse it, whatever. Anyways, um, point being, at Mohawk Honda, though, the team can find what you're looking for by searching their lot, or they'll even search the entire Eastern Seaboard for you. If there's a vehicle that you're really being stubborn about wanting, and for some reason they don't have the one with quite the characteristics you're looking for, maybe they have the wrong kind of seating, maybe they don't have certain horsepower in the engine you're looking for, whatever it may be, they will search high and low to make sure you get the vehicle that fits your budget, your lifestyle, and the car needs that you are looking for. That's right. And the real opportunity right now, because of the way the car market is trading in your vehicle if you are thinking about just selling it off and getting rid of it. Trade it instead, and you can use that money from your old vehicle towards the new vehicle and help yourself out when it comes to whatever payments you have to set up for the car going forward. It's just a great idea. It's a tremendous idea because not only that, now you're also helping the supply chain, which is still facing challenges throughout the automotive community. As always, the team Mohawk Honda, they're looking to make the buying and selling experience very easy, whether it's cars with Kern, our boy Trust Trav Landry, Luis, the VIP man Morales, C-Mac, that's right, Cam McKenna. Heck, or just talk to the leader in charge, Greg Johnson, the general manager at Mohawk Honda. They'll make sure you get what you're looking for at Mohawk Honda. Freeman's Bridge Road in Scotia. They want to buy your car and then get you into something that fits your family and budget and lifestyle correctly. And they'll always go out of their way to please you. That being said, there's my ugly mug and the mug of JJ Alexander. Welcome to episode 54 of White Heat. And cheers. I'm assuming that's coffee because anybody who puts anything other than coffee in a coffee mug is just psychotic.
Yeah, well, you said the mug of JJ Alexander, so I had to hold up the mug of JJ Alexander.
The mug of the mug, and that's from it. It's
Mugception.
the,
Yes.
the it mug of in front of the mug of JJ Alexander. Now we're just
Yes.
going way too deep with this. Anyways, yeah, that's JJ. I'm Brian. Uh it's interesting how the outlook of how the show is going to be can change in such a quick amount of time because I'll be properly honest, as we went through basically Monday through, yeah, basically Monday through Friday. As we got through Monday night through this past Friday, it looked like we were going to have a pretty normal fucking show. And then the weekend happened. Hi, everyone. This is going to be a shit show. Um, Not from us. I mean, a show covering shit.
Yes.
Now, I wouldn't say this is necessarily shit, but we're going to cover it quick anyways because NWA had always ready events centered around, designed around, color schemed around their current rating and hopefully defending NWA World Heavyweight Champion Matt Cardona. We
Ha.
all know what happened to Matt at an indie event a few weeks ago when he dropped the digital media title to, I believe it was
Rich
Rich
Swan.
Swan. Yep, thank you. He dropped it to him at an indie event that wasn't even sponsored by Impact, but the Impact title match was, I don't fucking know. Anyway, around it, Matt basically fucked up his bicep, his right bicep, tore it, and needed surgery. Got that surgery this past week, but still showed up in, I believe the show's in Nashville, correct? Yeah,
Yes.
Nashville. Showed up in Nashville this past weekend to relinquish the 10 pounds of gold in order for them to crown a new, proper, and willing and able, underline, italicize, bolden, the able part of the defending the title. So that being said, real quick, just to go through that card real quick. Important part number one: Aaron Stevens is aka the artist formerly known as Damian Sandow, Damian
Mhm.
Mizdow, however you remember him.
Aaron
Um,
Idol.
Aaron Idol. He drops the opening match to Trevor Murdoch, and then Aaron Stevens cuts a promo later in the night announcing his retirement. Um, interesting. I don't think there was a very big. How should I put this? I don't think this was a very public information. I should say before the show.
He
I
mentioned something a few weeks back about how this was going to be his last year or something like that.
Yeah, like I mean, he had been thinking, but I don't know if it was really expected to be this quick. Um, Point being, you look back at his career, at least in the public eye, and one would argue, at least I would argue, I'm not sure how you feel it, JJ. um, Probably, relatively speaking, a an underutilized talent the way it worked out. That just didn't like. There were certain like when he first came in to the WWE scene, the character was unique in that it was different from what was everything else that was on TV at the time. And then he was able to transition that into a little thing with Cody and the briefcase and whatever with the Money in the Bank. Um, but then his true time to when he shined the most was the whole Mizdow character with the Miz, and there was just no capitalizing off of that for him. Like he basically had hit a ceiling. I feel like at that point, there was no going any further for him at that point. Um, but I feel like a talent that you know served the time and was what it was, and now it's going on the wayside. You look
Meh.
very indifferent about it.
Well, I mean, so Aaron was from around here originally. He was a Kowalski guy. I do recall the first night he showed up on SmackDown in a vignette. I get a text from Mike Milano going, "JJ, they're ripping off your character. Turn on SmackDown." Because the original Damian Sandow was a direct ripoff of the original JJ Alexander, who was active at the time. So just get that out of the way. I mean, it was fine. As I'm trying to remember, there was something he said in an interview a couple of weeks ago that really pissed me off. Like he kind of got on a high horse about a bunch of shit that he had no business getting on a high horse about. And I'm trying to remember what it was, but it like right when he like went off on that whole thing, I was like, fuck him. And I kind of just like shoot him off. I don't remember what it was about, but he
Okay,
got like real mouthy about some shit a little while back.
all right, all right, fair enough. Then we had the first one ended up being three official title changes on the night. As Pretty Empowered, the team of Ella Envy and Kenzie Page, they defeated Allison Kay and Marty Bell to become the new NWA World Women's Tag Team Champions. Say that three times fast. Um, I mean, for as long as Allison Kay and Marty Bell had the belts, I mean,
Yeah.
you know where I'm going.
Yeah.
Um, then in a match that some people are arguing kind of stole the show, Homicide successfully defended the junior heavyweight title against PJ Hawks.
Good.
I didn't see the match personally, so I don't know what I don't know. I didn't see it, so it is what it is. Um, then so on top of that, this gets um. Listen to this. So after the match, the Fixers attack Homicide and PJ after the match. Then Luke Hawks comes out to try and help PJ out. Fixers take him out. Then the Mortons come in and make the save. The Fixers take off. But then, because how beat up Homicide is, Colby Carino comes down and looks to cash in his championship series title shot. But thankfully for the show, Homicide ended up beating Colby anyways. So Homicide's still junior heavyweight champion.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah, interesting. Um, then Taya Valkyrie loses to Natalia Markova in her. Taya was making her NWA debut that night. Natalia Markova is managed by Taryn Terrell, for what it's worth.
There's a name we haven't heard in a while.
Correct. Uh, Then National Heavyweight Championship, Jack Stane successfully defends against Chris Adonis, aka the artist formerly known as Chris Masters.
Mm-hmm.
Then we get Tom Latimer pitting Scion, who was managed by Austin Idol. I want to say Scion is used to be Crimson. I could be wrong. I'm not.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Then we get Tyrus successfully defending the World TV title against Mims.
Yeah.
Tyrus and Mims actually shake hands, but then Tyrus punches Mims. That's nice. Then our second title change of the night as Doug Williams and Harry Smith.
Commonwealth connection, baby.
They defeat La Rebellion to become the new NWA World Tag Team Champions. Then we get Camille successfully defending the NWA World Women's title against Kylan King. Bully Ray gets in the ring, congratulates both ladies. Okay. Yeah. For whatever reason, Bully Ray was at the show and was special guest commentator, I believe, just for that match. I could be wrong.
I'm sure Velvet Sky was just loving that.
Not my booking. Dr. Tom Pritchard is then there too, apparently, and cuts a promo in the ring. Sure, whatever. Then Matt Cardona is wheeled down to the ring by Chelsea Green, and I believe Mike Knox is with them as well now.
Yep. Yeah.
So all this is such a dick. I love it. All this basically said that Cardona is an ex-WWE parasite and he isn't a good wrestler. That's nice. Thanks, Nick. I appreciate you saying that. So then we get a four-way match to determine a new NWA World Heavyweight Champion. It's Aldis, Tom Latimer, Trevor Murdoch, and Sam Shaw. Two of the four had worked earlier the night. The other two, they had it easy for the night, apparently. In the end, Aldis had the cloverleaf on Murdoch. Then Murdoch escaped the hold and then catches Aldis from the top rope with a bulldog and gets the pin on Nick Aldis to become a new two-time NWA World Heavyweight Champion. So Murdoch is the third and final new champion crowned on the night. I guess real quick, the one question I have coming out of it, how do you feel about Murdoch having the belt put back on him instead of going in any of the other three directions they could have gone in that match?
I think it was a smart thing to do. I mean, I think Murdoch was a victim of circumstance through when this whole freaking Cardona train started rolling.
Right.
Aldis, I'm kind of over Nick Aldis. I have been for a while. And Sam Shaw, I love Sam Shaw, but he just showed up there to put the title on him right off the bat. Just
build something at that point.
Exactly. So yeah.
And Latimer were just considering a non-factor the whole time. So
basically, yeah.
All right. Now let's really start diving into the actual shit of the show. The shit of the shit show. Yeah. I'm not calling us a shit show. Just want to reference that. We are not a shit show. The shit we're going to talk. A lot of the shit we're going to talk about is a shit show, and it starts with this. New Japan had Dominion on Sunday at Osaka-jo Hall. Whew, okay. So let me just roll through this. 6-man tag, nobody really cared about. United Empire ends up winning. Yay. Bullet Club versus Los and Gold. We're not wasting another 6-man tag. Bullet Club wins with El Phantasmo pinning Bushi. Okay, sure. Poor Doc Gallows.
I never feel bad for Doc Gallows.
You come back to New Japan, your first match has to be against fucking Toru Yano.
Be happy you got a match on the fucking show.
Thanks, AJ. Thanks, JJ. Appreciate that. I don't know why I called you AJ. Fuck me. Toru Yano goes over. That's really the part I'm saying more what the fuck about, but whatever. First title. Oh no, not the first title change tonight. Never open weight 6-man tag. House of Torture, which is Takahashi's show and Evil. They successfully defend against Kanemaru, Zack Sabre Jr., and El Desperado. Then this was our first title change of the night as Jeff Cobb and Great Khan regained the heavyweight tag team titles as they beat Chase Owens and Bad Luck Fale, with Cobb hitting the Tour of the Islands and pinning Chase Owens. Then the AEW World Title Eliminator match, Hiroshi Tanahashi beats Roki Goto, which we all saw coming.
Yep.
So we got Tanahashi and Moxley set up for Forbidden Door to take for the interim World Heavyweight title. Don't get me fucking started.
Combat Sports.
And Takagi retains the KOPW trophy over Tai Chi in a, what I believe the fans voted was a 10-minute, just like a 10-minute match. It was a 10-minute Iron Man match, essentially. Like, it wasn't called that, but that's essentially what it was. It was a 10-minute Iron Man match. And somehow they had 21 falls in 10 minutes.
The fuck, bro? That's some indie-rific bullshit.
Well, welcome to KOPW. Another title change on the night. Machine Gun Carl Anderson pins Tama Tonga to become the new never openweight champion. Yeah, I can tell by your face you don't like that. And then the final title change of the night in the main event, 36 minutes and change, Jay White defeats Kazuchika Okada, in which I don't know if you've seen any video of this, but the closing sequence from the last few minutes of the match was pretty good. It's White and Okada. You can't go wrong with it. But White wins the IWGP Heavyweight title over Okada in what was Okada's 5th defense of the belt. So Bullet Club now they lose the heavyweight tag titles, but they gain the never openweight title and the world heavyweight title.
Mm-hmm.
And House of Torture, they're technically a part of Bullet Club as well, right?
Are they?
Like, I know Evil was Bullet. Oh no, because I think Evil actually broke off from Bullet Club. All right, so no, because I don't know. The whole last 18 months of Evil just confuses me. So yeah. I don't know. So 3 title changes, just like the NWA show, except these are a little more meaningful because it also affects more than likely the booking of said show. By the way, I just noticed I went through this. And it doesn't even include the one fucking match that got changed on the show. Like, I'm looking through this results page on New Japan's actual fucking website. They don't even have one of the matches. So they had
the U.S. title match.
Right. They had 4 title changes technically. So let's get into that real quick. So
found out why Juice Robinson didn't go to Japan.
Okay. So before I get into what happened at the show, let me just give the background. So Juice Robinson was the United States heavyweight champion in New Japan. He had agreed to be booked, and they originally booked him for a triple threat against former champs. Actually, no, Ospreay I don't think was ever U.S. champ.
Nope.
But so he was supposed to defend against the former champ Sonata, who had just come back from his orbital bone injury, and Will Ospreay in a triple threat. Apparently, Friday before the show, so 2 days before the show, Juice informs New Japan management via some video, whatever the fuck he sent them, that he was not going to be able to attend the show. So they stripped him of the belt and decided to just make it a singles match between Sonata and Ospreay to crown a new United States heavyweight champion. Before I reveal what the result was, you have more details about what happened with Juice.
Yeah. You know why Juice couldn't get to Japan? His appendix burst. He was in the hospital.
Oh, appendicitis. Lovely.
Yeah.
Fucking lovely.
Yeah, he was having his appendix removed. So, as much as I don't care for Juice Robinson, kind of had a valid excuse.
Yeah, that's pretty valid. Yeah. I'm sure Tony was right.
But apparently, it was not valid enough for the Yakuza.
Did it? Anyways, so Will Ospreay ends up beating Sonata because God forbid we give Sonata another shot.
Let's put the U.S. title on the grape apologist. Don't want to get demonetized.
Gotcha. Um, so Osprey's the new U.S. champ, and that's that. Like, lovely. So United Empire picks up 2 championships. Bullet Club picks up 2 championships. United Empire picks up 2 championships.
So great that United Empire did the job on Rampage, huh?
Yeah, we're getting to that in
Yeah,
a
we'll
little
get to
bit.
it.
Um, yeah. Anything? Does anything from that show stand out to you as shocking at all?
Not shocking because everything's falling into line as to what I was saying Forbidden Door is going to be in actuality. So just kind of tumblers and a lock all coming into succession the way that I predicted it.
Yeah, and Jay White had some interesting shit to say, by the way.
Yeah, he did.
So immediately after the match, because typically what happens is whoever wins the main event and at a New Japan show, they give a monologue of some sort.
TV Asahi interview afterwards, sitting at the table.
No. I'm talking about in the actual ring.
Oh, okay.
What typically happens is at the end of the night, at the end of the main event, whoever wins the main event typically gives the crowd a promo, or they just do a segment in general where like if there's a title match that's the main event, they'll have like a person who wants the next title shot come down and challenge. Whatever.
Yeah,
It's very whatever. They didn't have that. They just had Jay White cut a promo as Bullet Club came in the ring to celebrate his title victory.
mm-hmm.
And so the one thing of note that Jay White said in that promo before we get to the backstage thing, one thing he said in the in-ring promo was basically he said said fuck you to Adam Page because he wanted Okada without thinking about the fact that Jay White had a title shot.
Yeah.
Which is essentially the same thing Adam Cole said a few nights earlier on AEW TV, but whatever. That's whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Then you fast forward to the backstage interview after the fact, the media scrum, I guess we can call it, essentially is what it is.
Yeah.
What they have after every match on every New Japan show they ever have.
Yep.
And let's see. Jay White basically said, for lack of a better, I'll just summarize what he essentially said. He basically said, if it wasn't for the series of events that I initiated in by beating Kenny Omega to become the new U.S. Heavyweight Champion when I did, AEW never even comes to existence.
Yep.
And basically then he shits on Adam Page again. And
yep.
Yeah. That's basically the long and short of it. Which is interesting. Because I think he also name dropped the Bucks as well and basically shit on them at the same time.
Yep.
Which is
because everything's going to happen the way I said was going to happen. We'll get to that.
Shits on Omega, shits on the Bucks, shits on Page. Yeah. Interesting. All right, so here's essentially. No, we'll get to. Never mind. Let's get through. We're gonna get through the next segment before we even think about looking at Forbidden Door. Let's get through the next level of bullshit, what we have to deal with, which is AEW. I know. And while you are pulling up your notes, we want to thank our new sponsor. That's right. We have a new sponsor, folks. A new sponsor joining the Godzilla Media family. Welcome aboard, SeatGeek. I wanted to see if I got a reaction out of you. That wasn't really a reaction. Considering what you've been saying and just said to me before the show. No pop at all. No.
I didn't like. Who was the new sponsor?
SeatGeek.
Oh, SeatGeek.
SeatGeek. Yes.
Okay, I know them.
Okay, yeah. This summer, if you're looking to buy tickets to your favorite band, sports team, venue, AEW Forbidden Door, you buy your tickets at SeatGeek. That's SeatGeek.com. Search the event you want to buy tickets for. Not only can you buy obstructed view seats at Forbidden Door for $20, okay, if you buy 3 of those tickets, which gives you a total ticket buy of over $50, use the promo code GOZ, G-O-Z, and you'll get $20 off the purchase. So you can basically buy 3 for 2.
and
Yeah,
still
that's
wonder
right.
why the fuck you're a Forbidden Door.
Yeah, why the fuck am I in Chicago, let alone a Forbidden Door? Uh Again, that's any ticket purchase over $50 from SeatGeek.com. Use the promo code GOZ to get $20 off your order. Save some money and enjoy the summer by using SeatGeek.com and the promo code GOZ, GOZ. And if you're watching the YouTube, that's scrolling at the bottom of the page as a reminder throughout the course of the show, which ironically is happening right now as I say that.
We're moving up in the world.
Oh, what timing I have. All right, so let's get to AE Dub. So, first off, we have so what they had done was the previous week they had announced it to be a battle royal, but in the end, what they really did was a casino battle royale
Yep.
because they did the whole club spades, bring out people in groups, and by bringing out people in groups, I mean they all they brought out people five at a time, but they all got their fucking music
Right.
for 10 seconds.
Yeah. So isn't the casino battle royal they bring in four at a time because there's four suits?
I don't know if they do it for. I know they. I know it's four groups to represent the forces. I don't necessarily set
Oh,
it four
okay.
people.
Oh, okay.
I think it's
I
just so it just
the
four
whole
people,
concept is fucking dumb.
and then you have a Joker at the end.
Yeah, which was a fucking disappointment again.
So they have the casino battle royale, is what it boils down to. The final four of the match came down to Ray Phoenix, Wheeler Yuta, Kyle O'Reilly, and the Joker, which was Andrade.
And at that
Um,
point, everyone went, "Oh, Moxley's winning."
which was, I believe, that was Andrade's first live appearance at AEW since getting married, I
Yes,
believe.
yes, it was.
Um, O'Reilly ends up winning the match by, I believe, Yuta went out
Yes,
first.
because we got to keep pushing Wheeler Yuta.
So Yuta goes out first, then Andrade, then Phoenix to end the match. So O'Reilly advanced to the main event that night to face Moxley, who then cut a promo backstage on O'Reilly after said match. Then, oh God, then. Did you have anything to say about the Battle Royal or just fuck
I'm
the Battle
going through
Royal?
all my notes of just how pissed off I was about the entire thing, because they were having them come out in 4-minute intervals, and then like it wasn't even 4-minute intervals because then they started rushing it because they're like, "Oh shit, this shit's taking too long," because
I was going
apparently
to
Tony
say,
Khan doesn't know how to time shit out correctly. And
which goes back
then
to a point I have mentioned over and over again about AEW. You need to stop overloading your TV shows with promos or pre-taped shit. Like
mhm,
you can only do so much of it in
mhm,
3 hours of television each week.
yeah,
Because now you're just taking away from the ring product,
yeah. They had
which is
people. They had people doing their entrances during picture in picture.
yeah.
Like, no, like, dude, you've been on. I don't know how many times I have to fucking say it. You've been on the air for 3 fucking years. Learn how to space your fucking ad spots. It's not that hard. They have to come at these fucking intervals. So fucking space your fucking matches around it. Don't give everyone a 4-minute fucking entrance if you know you're going to have to go to a picture in picture during that fucking match.
I know.
But yeah, the only note, like, basically it just came down to the second that the battle royal was over, I said they're not putting the title on O'Reilly. Mox versus Tanahashi confirmed. Khan is literally just piggybacking off the story in New Japan Strong because he doesn't have an original fucking thought in his cocaine riddled brain. And then, oh, for fuck's sake, another title.
Welcome the All Atlantic title. Now, for those of you on
Spicy Atlantic, colder Atlantic.
for those of you on the visual side on YouTube, I put up the picture of the 8-man bracket, which really no 6 men for.
Yeah.
So here's how the bracket looks. On the left half of the bracket, we have Pac already beating Buddy Matthews in one qualifier. Then we have Ethan Page and Miro having their qualifier this coming Wednesday on Dynamite.
Yeah.
And then We're also going to have on the other half of the bracket, we have Penta Oscuro taking on Malachi Black in a qualifier.
Mm-hmm.
And then New Japan's going to have their own qualifying match at some point to
In the
provide
next week or so.
the fourth person. And then what they're going to do is they're going to have a four-way match at Forbidden Door to crown the first ever AEW All Atlantic Championship. But here's the thing. Allow me to display my remaining knowledge of geography classes from when I was in school.
You're welcome.
Pac, England, okay, sure. Ethan Page, Canada, yeah, sure, okay. Buddy Matthews is from Australia. Can you remind me where Australia is?
It's in the South Pacific.
Okay. Miro, they're going with, I believe,
Bulgaria.
Belarus.
No, it's Bulgaria.
Bulgaria. Isn't that landlocked in Europe?
Yes.
Okay, so there's no water around it. Good. Mexico, I can live with that.
No, because that's the Gulf of Mexico. It's not the Atlantic.
But the Gulf of Mexico feeds into the Atlantic. We'll give them half credit. Is that okay?
Fine.
Malachi Black.
Netherlands does not border the Atlantic. Borders the North Sea.
Then no matter who then you have two people from New Japan. Remind me again where Japan is.
Northern Pacific.
Okay. Now you go to the title belt itself. Mexico, okay, I'll give you a pass. England, yeah. America, yes. Canada, yes. Where are Japan and China again?
Pacific.
Motherfuckers.
That's why I gave you the Tony Khan geography map.
What are we doing here?
You got to use the Tony Khan geography map as reference.
Was Tony Khan too coked up back in high school even to realize this?
Well, yeah, I could have told you that, dude. This is what happens when rich billionaire kids don't pay attention in school. Their parents pay off so they can fucking pass.
Fuck me. God damn. Just, I mean, how dumb of a motherfucker can you be, man?
Yeah. Yeah. Like, everyone's like, why didn't they just call it an intercontinental title? And they're like, because WWE has only... No, because New Japan had an intercontinental title. Or call it an international title. Or here's something else. Don't have another fucking title. Because you already have umpteen thousand belts. Because you're defending Ring of Honor titles on your television. Because Ring of Honor still does not have a television show.
Yeah, that too. Yes, that works. By the way, for those of you not sure about what map that JJ is talking about, welcome to the map of the oceans according to Tony Khan. So you have the big Atlantic is apparently the Pacific Ocean. Then you have the regular Atlantic. Then you have the bottom cold Atlantic under the tip of Africa. The top cold Atlantic, which is up near the North Pole. Spicy Atlantic is in the Middle East, Southern Asia.
That's the Indian Ocean.
Yeah, that too. And then also big Atlantic would be, well, the western half of the Pacific Ocean.
Yes.
Because fuck me. Yeah.
My brain.
Your brain.
So much.
Your brain. You don't even try to make sense of it. At least I try. Fuck your brain. Jesus. I already mentioned how Pac beat Buddy. Go ahead. Yeah. Sorry.
And this is where the whole thing with the All Atlantic title that they kept touting during talking about it and during the match with Pac and Buddy Matthews is they keep touting that AEW is the number one wrestling promotion in the UK. Okay, so here is their logic behind that. Dynamite is on the free network television channel in England. I believe it's like BBC One or whatever. Raw is on Sky Sports, which is a pay network.
Correct.
So more people watch Dynamite in the UK than Raw because it's on the free channel. And I said, fine, keep touting that. You're not the company that sold out a fucking stadium in Cardiff. And of course, then I had basement goblins coming out all over me going, the WWE didn't sell out Cardiff yet either. Yeah, they have.
There. Did you have anything to say about the Pac Buddy match?
We've seen it. What? Look, we're just dragging out this death triangle, fucking hot to black shit more and more every fucking week. But AEW doesn't give us the same matches over and over again. But here we go with AEW with fucking Pac and Buddy, and then next week we're gonna get fucking Penta and fucking Malachi Black. Like, we've seen this shit. We keep seeing this shit. No one wants to see this shit.
What do you mean? We haven't seen Pocket Buddy before.
Sure, we haven't. It's not like we didn't see it on fucking 205 Live a whole fuckload of times.
Yeah, it's the first time it ever happened. Hey, that's what Sockface said, not me. Shut up.
Did he actually say it was their first singles encounter?
Yeah.
That cock smoker. Jesus. Oh.
All right, so after that match, Eddie Kingston cuts a promo backstage challenging Jake Hager for a match at Rampage because I think Hager eliminated Kingston, if I remember correctly, in that battle royal earlier in the night.
I don't know.
At least that's what Kingston said. I wasn't paying enough attention, honestly.
I don't know.
Then we get FTR and Trent cutting a promo in the ring. Ospreay shows up at the top of the ramp, and then Aussie Open comes up behind them and jumps them. So that basically set the stage for Friday night on Rampage, which we'll come back to.
And nobody cared that the grape apologist showed up. Nobody gave a fuck.
No, we'll get to that in a moment. Then we get to a backstage promo. It's Red Dragon and Cole, as well as Regal. As Regal's basically saying, "Are you sure you want to do this, Kyle?" Referring to facing Mox the end of the night.
And Cole holding that fucking belt.
Oh, this gets worse. Yeah, sure, okay. Then Paige beats David Finlay. And which was, I believe, David's AEW debut. Like, he's never done any of the dark shit. Which I wouldn't allow him to anyways. Then after the match, Paige challenges. He simply, I'm trying to remember.
He said that
he challenges Okada. He basically called out Okada.
He said he basically said that because he knows he doesn't get another shot at the AEW World Title, and like no mention of the fact that he wasn't in the Battle Royal, because they could have put him in the fucking Battle Royal, but they didn't. And but he was just like, but then I realized that there's more than
he didn't mention it.
Did he?
I thought he mentioned it very quickly at the beginning.
I don't recall. All I know is that he said there's more than one world title, and I'm like, way to diminish your company's world title that you just held for fucking 6 months.
Yeah,
there's more than one world title. And they go, I want Okada. At that exact moment, I said that's not happening.
Yeah. So after he says that, Cole, who was on commentary during Paige's match, why I don't fucking know. But
reasons.
Cole says that he should get the title match, not Paige, while holding that Owen Hart title thingy on his shoulder. Great. Then we get Thunder Rosa and Shavir backstage setup. I don't remember this.
Yeah, that was because remember you messaged me.
Oh, that was like,
why did Shavir get a belt? And I'm like, yeah, since he wanted one.
Right. So, okay. So the way this worked. So here's what was going on. I was DVRing Dynamite and only watched like the very beginning of the Battle Royal live. Cause Yankees Twins sounded more appealing to me than Dynamite.
Yeah.
So, which it ended up not being, because that was the night where Garrett Cole pitched like shit. But this isn't a baseball show. This is a wrestling show. So I end up messaging you because I happened to look at the wrestling news site I usually.
I thought you just saw the graphic in the corner during the Battle Royal.
No, I didn't I didn't even pay attention to that. I don't pay attention to a lot of shit that AEW shows on the screen. So while I'm watching the Yankee game, I happen to look at the wrestling news site that I typically check, and it mentions something about Thunder Rosa retaining Marina Shafir. And I'm like, why the fuck did Marina Shafir earn a shot at the other women's champion on the fucking company?
Because she just did the job as Jay Carter.
And then you were like, oh, you'll see. So So I watched the show and I'm like, Thunder Rosa, Thunder Rosa just spent a month and a half to 2 months between winning the belt and her first defense because the program she was building with Deeb, but then she suddenly just hands out a fucking title shot like it's a piece of candy because
Ooh, piece of candy.
Marina Shafir says she wants to be Thunder Rosa's problem. Oh,
Yeah.
dig.
No, the exact text conversation was, why does Marina Shafir get a title shot? I go, because she asked for one.
Yeah, that's literally what JJ said. And to which I believe my reply was,
Yep.
the emoji, not me literally doing that, but yeah, you get the point. It was a lot of face palming. That tends to be what a lot of my answers are to the stuff he sends me on Messenger while watching AEW. Anyways, so after that stupid little 90-second thing, we get Wardlow in the ring with Tony. He wants the TNT title because
Because
he's the one that mentioned not being in the Battle Royal. That's right. It
Yes.
wasn't Paige.
I
It was
didn't want to be
Wardlow.
in the battle royal. I don't want the world title. I'm stupid. I'm big dumb Wardlow.
That's kind of what it came off as. Yeah, basically.
Like literally, and now like so it's it's hilarious because they like no mention of the fact that he got yanked in the rankings because Tony Khan went, "Uh-oh, I fucked up."
Right.
And they could have actually used that as bait for Wardlow to be like, I was yanked from the ratings and I'm being held back. No, he was just like, no, I don't want the world title. I want the smaller title because I'm stupid.
And
because I want to beat Goldberg, and this is how the Goldberg push started.
And he says he wants to bring prestige and respect back to the TNT title.
Yeah, spoiler alert, the TNT title has never had prestige nor respect.
I would take Miro being champion over anything Sky or Guevara have done this year.
Yeah, but you got to recall, Miro became TNT champ after playing second fiddle to fucking Kip Sabian for how many months?
I'm aware. I'm just saying, though.
Remember when Kip Sabian and Penelope Cruz were on Dynamite every week? It's amazing. We used to have a worse time in the history.
Whoa. Penelope Ford is far from Penelope Cruz.
Oh, sorry. Penelope Ford. My bad.
Yeah. Don't give her that much credit. Jesus Christ. So then we get Mark Sterling. Then they play a Mark Sterling pre-recorded backstage thing, which is in reaction to Wardlow, basically saying either Wardlow will pay in court, or he'll face 20 security guys in an elimination match the next week on Dynamite.
I can't. I fucking can't. I really fucking can't.
You can probably guess what's actually happening.
Oh, we already know what's happening. But
I know. I was saying that to the people watching and listening, not you, jackass.
Oh.
So on Dynamite this coming week, it's Wardlow in a 20-on-1 handicap elimination match.
I fucking can't. I really fucking can't. Like, it's just okay. So it's gonna be 20.
So somehow they're gonna find 20 jobbers. Yeah, they're somehow gonna find 20 jobbers in the Kansas City area to come in and job out to Wardlow.
Oh, it won't only be the Kansas City area, because here's a little something that a lot of people don't realize is, you know, when I talk about indie guys who appear on the fucking YouTube channel and then think they're giant fucking superstars.
Oh, so probably have like the Workhorsemen and.
No. So it's not going to be that. It's not going to be that. It's going to be the random ass, because there's random ass indie guys that sign up and get on a wait list for AEW to go do jobs on fucking Dark. Whoa. Or once in a great while. What?
There's a fucking wait list to do this shit?
There's a wait list.
Oh, fuck me. Like there's wait lists that are worth being on, and then there's this wait list.
Yeah, there's wait lists. There's a wait list because a majority of indie workers out there are still giant fucking marks who think that doing a squash match on YouTube is going to get them discovered. This is why I have gone on record before saying you would have never seen guys like Bert Centeno and Mario Mancini and Fred Yale and fucking Johnny Rods and all them fucking posting about every squash match they were doing like it was the second coming of God. And this is why it's fucking annoying every time you see a fucking indie guy going, I'm a period god dark, and everyone going, oh my God, you deserve this, blah, blah. No, you're a random ass indie guy that signed up to get on a fucking waiting list. And there's guys that sign up on wait lists where when you get the call, they're like, AEW will give you the call if they are within, I believe, 200 miles of your location. And that's why there's Massachusetts guys that have appeared on the Atlantic City tapings of Dark and Elevation because they've gotten the call because a spot opened up and that was a reason why that was also because if you recall when they did the Bridgeport show and I said I didn't see a single Connecticut guy on that show and there weren't any Connecticut guys in the fucking on Dark.
Because they weren't on the wait list high enough.
No, exactly. Because I know a couple of guys that I found out afterwards are on that wait list, and it's just the wait list is that long.
Who are you gonna call?
Because they're fucking marks.
More jobbers.
Exactly. So literally, they just opened up 20 spots on the wait list for this fucking match on Wednesday of guys who live within 200 miles of Kansas City, who are going to spend $5 or more a gallon in gas to drive to Kansas City so they can get power bombed and pinned in 5 seconds. Because that's really going to get you discovered, kid.
Yeah, sure.
We're going to witness a match where a whole bunch of indie guys are going to get squashed, and we're basically going to watch fucking, let's see, it's 20 guys. Over under, I'm going to say 45 power bombs. Now take the over the under on that.
I'm going to think on that. Part of me wants to lean towards the under, but it's also Tony Khan booking. Let me chew on that. I'll get back to you on that.
All right.
Anywhooser. So then we get to a Bucks pre-tape backstage. They're interrupted by the Hardys. And then suddenly Jurassic Express interrupts as well. And apparently Christian is booking for... who the fuck made Christian a booker for Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus?
Well, because he's their advocate.
I'm not just your manager. I'm gonna book everything for you. I'm gonna be your agent. You get a shot, and you get a shot, and you get a shot. So basically, Christian decides
that Jeff Hardy's gonna die.
Because this is a good way to book your team. Let's put them in a ladder match against 2 tag teams that were put themselves on the map essentially before coming to AEW in ladder matches. Because that's fucking smart. That's right. You heard me right. Christian booked a triple threat ladder match for the AEW tag team titles where Lucha Express is to defend against the Hardy Boys and the Young Bucks. Because
reasons.
Let's really shove it up Jungle Boy's ass.
Yeah, and let's completely ignore our fucking tag team rankings. Once again, FTR gets the short end of the fucking stick because they got the ROH tag belt, so it's okay.
And let me say this. I feel like AEW is really sticking it to themselves by pure accident. Because I feel like the way they creatively have been trying to book this whole Christian Jungle Boy undercurrent of shit that's going on between them. Creatively, they were thinking, oh, it'll be a good rub on Jungle Boy. Christian, whatever. When really all you're doing is shitting on Jungle Boy the entire time.
Yep.
Because it's all Christian does to Jungle Boy is shit on him. Whether it be directly or indirectly, he's always shitting on Jungle Boy. And here's another way of shitting on him. Let's put them in there in a ladder match against four guys that are masters of the match. Like, fuck all. Let,
Watch,
let let's hope the big green guys haze them again.
watch. They're gonna do some bullshit where Christian turns on Jungle Boy, and they're gonna and Jungle Boy is gonna be left by his lonesome, and Christian's gonna manage Luchasaurus like it's Heyman and Brock.
Ah,
It's gonna be so bad.
I don't. Have we ever seen Luchasaurus as a heel, even going back to Ring of Honor?
I don't think so, which is why it's something stupid that Tony Khan would do.
That is really fucking dumb if that was to happen.
We're gonna see the summer of Tony Khan's gonna make his own Brock versus Goldberg. It's gonna be Wardlow versus Luchasaurus.
You're a fucking idiot. You're really a fucking idiot. There's no fucking way. There's no way. No. Fuck no. Nope. Nope. I know. I don't give me that fucking look. Don't you dare give me that fucking look.
Don't you put that evil on me, Ricky Bobby.
Yep. Exactly. Exactly. Fuck you. Fuck you. All right. Moving on. A match we're gonna come back to later on, and you're probably gonna look at me and be like, "Why are we gonna come back to this match later?"
I'm sure we have a reason.
Oh, I have a reason. Don't you worry. Thunder Rosa retains over Marina Shafir. And then
Shocker.
and then Marina decides to attack Thunder Rosa after the match. Tony Storm comes in for the save, and Shafir retreats. Then we get the baddies get interviewed backstage by Tony Schiavone. Tony, cut the shit.
I'm so sick of that shit.
What? The baddies or Tony cut the shit?
Both.
Okay. Then we end the show with Moxley beating O'Reilly to advance to the title match at Forbidden Door, which we already saw coming. Great. So we had 2 hours of TV to get what we knew was going to happen anyways. Rampage, which again, I'm assuming you didn't watch.
No, because apparently I didn't even realize it was on at an earlier time again. Because I'm pretty sure Sockface was touting, "We're on at our regular time this week," a bunch of times of Dynamite, and then it wasn't.
Correct. Yeah. Anyways, they opened the show with Eddie Kingston beating Jake Hager.
Shocker.
Then they had Britt Baker doing a backstage interview with Jamie Hayter and Rebel because reasons.
Yeah.
Oh, I think Baker was bitching about Marina Shafir getting a title shot, is what it was. Sure. You're not the only one that complained. Then we get Lethal and Satnam Singh and Singh's AEW debut.
Oh God, that's what I missed.
Yeah. They beat two dudes named Davey Vega and Matt Fitchett within 90 seconds. Cause duh. Then we have a pre-tape with Danhausen and Hook. Sure. Then Statlander beats Red Velvet, gets jumped by Kira Hogan and Jade Cargill after because they're the baddies.
But then didn't Statlander get some help from fucking someone?
Well, Anna Jade tried to help, and then she got laid out.
Mm-hmm.
And then Athena tried to come help, but then security cut her off from even getting to the ring.
Because that makes sense. Security just magically shows up now.
Yeah, yeah.
Like all the other times people get beat up, no security. But security just randomly shows up for this one fucking match with the women.
Stokely Hathaway's got powers, baby. I don't know. I just feel like saying that. Then Miro and Ethan Page pre-tapes about their All-Atlantic tourney match, which is not an All-Atlantic title, but whatever. And then your main event, Trent and FTR beat Will Ospreay and Aussie Open in 6-man action. With Trent pinning Ospreay, which I know it gets better. It gets better. It gets better. I like to announce two things right now based on stuff you sent me during the week. Number one, in a worse time slot than Rampage pretty much ever comes on, Miz and Mrs. their debut, their season premiere episode outdrew AEW Rampage
by almost double.
Yes. Secondly, Dynamite went down week over week by about 40K last
Mm-hmm.
week. No, 2 weeks ago to last week. So in other words, Will Ospreay caused 40,000 people not to tune in.
But what's funny is fucking Uncle Dave went and posted that it was a really impressive number for Dynamite. I'm like, bro, it was less than the week before. That's not impressive. That's the
And
opposite of impressive.
it's in the same range they always draw. So there's nothing impressive about doing the same thing week to week. Like if you're constantly drawing the same range of outcomes, that's that's definition of insanity where you're doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different outcome, Dave.
It's kind of
Dave.
like
Dave.
Dave. It's kind of like Dave Meltzer's opinion doesn't really matter.
Well, he's still gonna have one because opinions are like assholes.
Well,
Anyways,
that just
um,
that reminds me a little side story I was thinking about the other day.
what about opinions?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Well, just because everyone puts so much stock into what fucking Meltzer says and Meltzer giving star ratings and all this
Oh,
shit,
fuck this.
and it reminded me of an earlier time in my life. Before
A long, long time ago.
yes, many moons ago. We're talking like I don't know, like 12 years ago right now.
When
Um,
JJ had a full head of hair.
when JJ still had two legs.
That
So
that that, that was better dig. Yeah, that was better.
in my earlier life, I worked in the beer and liquor industry, and
How
I
the
had
fuck
to,
do you ever leave that? But anyways, go ahead.
it's stressful as shit.
What are we looking for? We looking for like
High volume retail.
yeah,
Yeah. A
gotcha.
lot of time on your feet, a lot of stress,
Yeah, yeah,
very not forgiving.
yeah. Okay. All right,
Um,
continue. I understand
but
now.
I had to for a brief amount of time at one point, I had to share my responsibilities with someone who was supposed to be learning how to do my job and wasn't getting it. And I prided myself on the location that I took care of, the location that I managed. Had probably the best beer selection in my portion of the state. Um, because I know my shit. Still know my shit to this day, but at the time when I was, in the thick of things, I was really good. I was really on top of things. And I had a really good selection, not because I carried everything, but because I carried a vast array and I carried things that people wanted. And this dude that I was trying to teach would sit there and he'd be like, well, why don't we carry this? And why don't we carry this? And why don't we carry this? And I'm like, because no one fucking wants it. And he would tout that there was a website that I'm not even sure people still use it or not, but the big website at the time for about 8 years was Beer Advocate. So Beer Advocate was run by these two pretentious fucking assholes from fucking South Boston named the Alstrom brothers. And what would happen is every month there would be a page where there would be reviews, and there would be the reviews from certain critics. It would give two ratings. It would give the review from overall review by the public, and then it would go the review by the brothers. And so he would sit there and go, but the Alstrom brothers gave this fucking 4.5 stars out of 5. And I had to sit there and tell him, just because two jagoffs from South Boston say it's good because that company sent them 5 free cases of beer doesn't mean the shit's good. And overall, it is the opinion of two people in a vast, vast, vast market of consumers. Dave Meltzer, ladies and gentlemen. Same thing. Same fucking thing.
You're not wrong. I know. All right. So, still on AEW here, but the more you know is what it comes down to.
Yeah, because I sort of have to talk about the entire shape of Forbidden Door.
Which is funny because that's what the more you know is about.
Perfect.
All right. So for Forbidden Door. Sorry,
Today, Junior.
I had a the black speech impediment for a second. So the only officially booked match we have right now is Moxley Tanahashi for the interim AEW World Title. Of
Yep.
course, we also have the four-way for the inaugural AEW All Atlantic Championship, which Pac is in. And then we still have two more AEW representatives to figure out, as well as a New Japan representative for that match, which is going to be figured out through the following. Not sure if you saw this. Um,
I did not.
so, New Japan has a series of shows coming up called New Japan Road. And so on the 20th, which is next Sunday, next Monday, as we're recording this on Monday, June 13th, there's going to be a set of qualifying matches for the qualifying match. There's going to be two qualifying matches for the
We have to
qualifying.
have a meeting about the meeting.
Yeah. So New Japan is having Tomohiro Ishii face Kanemaru, and then Tomoaki Hama take on Clark Connors. The winners of those two matches will fight the next night, Tuesday the 21st, and the winner of that match will go to Forbidden Door that weekend and participate in the four-way for the All-Atlantic Championship. So basically, Tomohiro Ishii is going to be in the match.
Yeah, exactly. That's
Also, by the way, that night on the 20th in Corrigan Hall, they're going to officially reveal the blocks for G1, which, by the way, they did reveal the participants, but for the sake of the show, we'll cover it when the actual blocks come out.
okay.
But they did announce the participants. There's only 3 or 4 new guys compared to the people that are usually in it, so that's why I'm not covering it today. We'll talk about it more when the blocks are revealed. That being said, so that's the framework of 2 of the matches. Also, one thing I didn't mention about Dominion is that Zack Sabre Jr. called out someone for a match at Forbidden Door. Did you see who he called out?
Daniel Bryan, supposedly.
Yeah. Yeah, sure.
We'll
That's
see if
exactly
that
what he called
happens.
out. Sure. Now, the one thing you have mentioned, I think you mentioned this a couple of times over the last few weeks. You mentioned we're probably going to get Super Elite against
The Undisputed Elite versus the Bullet Club.
Undisputed Elite. My apologies. But here's the thing. Who...
I've already got it figured out.
Yeah, because there's... I like to think we're going to go with the assumption Kenny is... I mean, you don't agree with this, but this is my thought. I really don't think Kenny's going to be on the show. Or if he is on the show, it's like...
Run in.
Yeah, that's what it's going to end up being. It's not going to be actually... Yeah. He's not going to be in a match, per se.
Yeah.
So if you're booking it, I'm assuming you're doing Cole, Red Dragon, Bucks versus Bullet Club. So we're talking probably El Phantasmo.
Nope.
No? All right.
I'm going to tell you. Nope.
Really?
I'm going to tell you exactly what it's going to be. It's going to be it's going to be Undisputed Elite versus Jay White, the Good Brothers, Juice Robinson, and Hikuleo.
Oh, yeah, Juice. Barring any issues from his appendicitis, obviously.
It's a couple weeks away. Appendicitis is an easy recovery.
Crazier shit's happened. Like the stomach ache that turned into not a stomach ache and killed David Von Erich.
That was,
Yes, I know I'm embellishing, but you get my point.
Yeah, but yeah, that's what that's going to be. And I want to roll back what I said when they first announced Forbidden Door. When they first announced Forbidden Door, I sat here and I said everyone's expecting that they're going to get Naito and Okada and Takahashi, and none of that's going to happen. And I said what they're going to get is Jeff Cobb and a bunch of strong guys, possibly Will Ospreay, Tanahashi, and I think I said Robbie Eagles was like my outlier.
Right.
So here's where we're at. We're going to have that 5-on-5.
They're looking at getting Ishii and Tanahashi.
Oh, I said they were going to get Ishii because Ishii had been doing stateside stuff.
Right.
And Tanahashi had been doing stateside stuff, which is why I said if they were already doing stuff for Strong, they're obviously going to do this because this is going to be nothing. This is going to be a glorified Strong show.
Right.
So this is what we're going to have. We're going to have that 5-on-5 as your main event. Undisputed Elite versus the Bullet Club. And Kenny's going to...
That's going to be the main event over fucking Moxley and Tanahashi.
Yep.
doubt that, but I'll roll with you. Go ahead.
It's because, dude, it's the Bucks booking it. And Kenny's going to do the running on that to make the Elite win.
They're gonna. Tony Khan is gonna book a 10-man tag that means nothing. Never mind. Go ahead. Just keep going. I had to stop myself because. Go ahead. All right. So 10-man tag. Then you have Mox and Tanahashi. You've got the 4-way for the All Atlantic. Keep going.
You're gonna get an 8-man tag of FTR and Roppongi versus fucking Osprey, fucking and some form of United Empire. What do you call it? Because now
probably Aussie Open and not Honore,
TJP.
I was gonna say Akira, but okay, sure.
Because obviously Cobb and Okan don't need the ROH tag titles now that they've gotten the IWGP. Right. Yeah, exactly. So you don't got to. So they're not going to want the ROH titles now. So you can pull that out. You're going to get Adam Page versus some random ass lower card guy because Okada's not fucking coming over. Okada's not like. Number one, Okada coming over while he was champion was questionable to begin with. Now that Okada's not champion, number one, he's not going to come over for a nothing match. Number two,
right,
his wife is pregnant and he wants to take paternity leave, which is probably why he dropped the title to Jay White at Dominion to begin with.
Right.
You're not going to get Kenta's not coming. Everyone wanted Punky Kenta. That's not happening.
Where the fuck has Kenta even been anyways? He hasn't wrestled
injured.
Since...
He's injured.
I was going to say, he hasn't wrestled since Best of Super Juniors.
Right. Fucking, you're not going to, what do you call it? I'll believe Danielson versus ZSJ when I see it, but even so, ZSJ is boring as fuck. Like, he didn't make any waves during the fucking, when he fucking, he did the fucking Cruiserweight Classic. Let's see here. You're probably going to get fucking let's see here. It's going to be a bunch of undercard bullshit now because here's the thing. This show is 2 weeks away. And they don't have shit booked for it.
AEW never has shit booked for their pay-per-views.
They'll probably do a casino battle royal with random ass guys from both companies.
Please don't.
They're probably gonna.
Please don't.
It doesn't matter. They just did one on Dynamite. They're going to do another one.
Please don't.
But you figure all the titles are going to be held up in the. All the titles are going to be glommed up by the freaking by that 10-man tag. All the New Japan titles and all the because you know the Bucks are going to put the tag titles back on themselves this week.
Possibly.
It's going to happen.
Yeah.
Oh, they'll probably have Yuta defend the fucking Pure title against some random ass fucking young lion.
Which, by the way,
better again.
By the way, do you know where that title's being defended? Most recently, I should say.
Where?
It's on tonight's episode of AEW Dark.
Jesus fuck! Oh yeah, isn't he defending it against?
I don't remember who. I don't know.
I thought it was against Joe Hendry or something.
I don't fucking remember, but I just know that I saw the headline that
I remember. Yeah, I saw.
I remember
it.
seeing something about Jay Lethal's on the show, and they're also having the ROH Pure title defended.
Yeah, I was like, oh yay,
great.
Or maybe what's going to be the big selling point what's going to be the big selling point at Forbidden Door? They're going to do Samoa Joe defending that ROH TV title against Great Value Khali. That's going to put butts in seats.
You think they bother giving Gresham a call?
No.
This fucking company.
No, because they
let's not call the Ring of Honor World Champion. Let's just keep shoving the Pure title and the TV title down everyone's fucking throats.
Yep. That's how it goes, don't you know? That's it. And the tag titles.
By the way, speaking of that, any word at all on any update regarding this July show that's supposedly happening in Lowell, Mass?
There's been no update yet. Supposedly it's still going to happen. And if it's in Lowell, it's probably going to be at the Songus Arena or whatever it's called now.
Right.
But still, like, it's that. Yeah, you know why? Because they're putting all their focus on fucking Forbidden Door right now. And by all their focus, I mean talking about it, but not actually putting matches on it.
This show sounds dead on arrival already.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not talking about Forbidden Door. I'm talking about Lowell and Ring of Honor.
Oh, I'm talking about both, but yeah.
At least Forbidden Door is going to be on what? I'm assuming Fight TV, right?
It's on pay-per-view. It's Fight TV and Bleacher Report, the same as their other pay-per-view shit.
Pay-per-view.
Yeah.
It's being streamed.
I mean, you got to pay for it. You got to pay $50 for it, and fuck that. Yeah.
Yeah, fuck that out.
But yeah, it's like I said, I said it when they first announced it, and it's just becoming more and more evident. This is going to be nothing but a glorified New Japan Strong show. Like, even a friend of mine actually put it out today because Muda announced that he's actually finally retiring for good. Like, okay. Why not try to do Sting and Muda? That's something that people might be interested in. And you know Muda will be safe with Sting.
Coming to the ring from Venice Beach, California via Walker. Fucking Sting.
I know. I'm not saying it's the greatest. We're
going to cover a topic similar to Sting at the end of the show. Don't worry.
Okay.
That all being said, there's one other AEW thing I want to get to quick before we get to WWE television and stuff like that. Which brings us back to the match I said we're going to touch on later.
Oh, yeah.
So apparently, people on Twitter from the basements that they type on in their mommy's homes, they're trying to basically say Thunder Rosa was sandbagging like a motherfucker against Marina Shafir on Dynamite this past week.
No.
Which correlates to apparently comments Britt Baker made at one point, and also comments Eva Lise has made in the past about Thunder Rosa being a sandbagging son of a bitch. So, let me chime in with my opinion and then ask you to address the issue of sandbagging. Here's my opinion. We can't just admit Marina Shafir is a below average professional wrestler.
No, we can't go that route.
So are we at a point? Okay, now this might come off as a little insensitive, but fuck it, I'm going there. Have we got to a point in society where? Have we got to a point really as a wrestling fan base, I should say, where we have to treat female wrestlers with such kitty gloves? We can't just outright say they're below average wrestlers. No, we just have to shit on somebody else and say that they're sandbagging the bitch. Like that, is that where we're at right now?
I don't think we've gotten to that point, but I just think it's the point of everyone wants to be all blah 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 because like it's.
And by the way, of all the female wrestlers to try and defend and say that she was getting sandbagged on, why Marina Shafir? Of all the
because she's Roddy's wife.
Who the fuck cares if she's Roddy's wife or if she's Hulk Hogan's wife or fucking Adam Cole's wife? Who the fuck cares? She's a below average wrestler that was a average MMA fighter at best. And that's being nice.
But she was Ronda's friend.
Who fucking cares if she was Ronda's friend or fucking Charlotte Flair's friend or Fabulous Moolah's friend? I don't give a fuck who she was friends with or how good the friend was in wrestling. She sucks.
I agree.
Put it out there. She's terrible. And yet she somehow earned title shots against both female champions within what? 60 days of each other?
Yeah.
Because
Tony Khan ran through all of the female talent he had and fed them all to either Britt Baker or fucking Jade Cargill, and then sat there going, shit, I don't have anyone that's viable now. But hey, this chick is a former WWE chick, even though she was only in NXT, and she was one of the 4 horsewomen. So I'm gonna fucking, doesn't matter that I jobbed her out to Jade Cargill. Now I'm just gonna push her against my other champion who I don't really fucking care about because her name's not Britt Baker or Jade Cargill. And, it doesn't matter because, this is what I say and I'm Tony Khan.
interest. I have nothing. Like, so let me get to the ultimate point I wanted to bring up to you.
Mm-hmm.
In my opinion, now I don't know what happened between Evilise and Thunder Rosa when they were doing Lucha Underground. That's whatever. That's ancient history at this point. Lucha Underground was what, 5 years ago? Whatever.
Yeah.
What can possibly be accomplished aside from obviously making your opponent look like shit? What could you ever possibly accomplish by sandbagging? Aside from possibly injuring your opponent or yourself.
So usually when someone's sandbagging someone, it's usually because they suck. Which is why I know that Thunder Rosa doesn't sandbag people, because people usually
they're just
sandbag
an asshole,
others.
Want to make their opponent look bad.
Right. They want to make their opponent look bad, or they just sandbag because they don't know how to post correctly on a move and they suck. The only other time I've seen people sandbag as, what do you call it? It's your way of making your opponent look like shit if your opponent has stiffed you in a match and you sandbag them rather than give them a stiff receipt. I've seen that happen more often than not. So in this case, if Rosa did sandbag Marina Shafir, I guarantee it's because Marina fucking stiffed her a couple of times, and so Rosa said, well, now you're going to work for your money, which I could see happening. That's the only time I could see that happening, and that's because, and I was going to get to this later about people stiffing each other in receipts when we cover WWE talk. But so that's like, that's it's passive aggressive receipts is what that is.
Well, here's the thing. You know how I know it's probably the latter instead of the former of what you just said with the stiff shit?
Yeah.
It's because Marina came from MMA and doesn't know how to not be stiff with certain shit.
So I would give her that.
This isn't me defending Marina, by the way.
No, yes. I would give her that excuse if she hadn't gone through the WWE PC for 4 fucking years.
Right.
She just never wanted to learn how to pull punches.
Well, no shit. That's why only Ronda succeeded out of the 4 horse. Well, correction. That's why Ronda and Shayna were the only ones to succeed out of the 4 horsewomen.
And Shayna is still kind of unsafe at times.
And Ronda only knows how to halfway wrestle.
Nah, but Ronda's Ronda.
Yeah. Anyways, let's get the fuck out of this and get to some real good shit. Well, kind of. All right, WWE TV. Let me try to gloss through these 3 TV shows.
My brain.
There's a number of things you could be saying that about, so I'll just run through this shit.
The opening segment.
Oh, the Cody Seth stuff?
Uh-huh.
What are you saying your brain about?
They had the opportunity here because Cody's going to be gone for, now they actually came out and said 9 months, because remember I said 6 to 12. They actually gave a number of 9 months so they could stop with Cody's going to be at Money in the Bank. We know it's not happening. Cody's going to be gone for 9 fucking months.
No, he's not, but go ahead.
Yeah, he is.
I'm teasing ahead of something. Go ahead.
They had the opportunity here to do a double turn, or at least halfway do a double turn. They had an opportunity to go, you know something? We're embarrassingly low on baby faces, on top baby faces. We need to flip Seth back to baby face right now. And they had a chance to do it, and they almost did it, and then they fucked it up. They had Seth come out. They did the respect spot. They had Seth walk away humbly, and it was like, perfect. You can flip Seth babyface now. There's a reason for it. You have Seth as a fucking top babyface again, and you can go from here, because you could still have him do kind of cocky drip Seth with having the crowd sing along with them and just act goofy, but still be a top babyface. But no, you had to have Seth then come out and attack Cody again and go ultra heel. What does that accomplish when you need baby faces? Because even though I hate fucking Cody, he was the guy they were putting their stock in as a top baby face, and now he's going to be gone.
Isn't that what they're doing with Riddle at this point? Then
Yeah, but Riddle, there's only so much you can do with.
there's only so much you can do with any top babyface at this point because you're not beating Roman yet.
Oh, I know, but they need enough viable top baby faces to get through to Mania. And right now, you're low. And we'll get through Raw before I talk about how low they are because there's other shit that happened on Raw where I went, what the fuck did you just do?
All right. So then we get. So for whatever reason, they decided to book Becky Lynch against Dana Brooke because that's not disrespectful at all to Becky.
All right.
Um, During the match, they have 24/7 title shenanigans, and Dana Brooke wins the 24/7 title in the midst of her match with Becky Lynch.
Mm-hmm.
And then Becky's like, "Fuck this! You're putting that belt on the line now during this match." And Becky ends up losing and getting pinned by Dana Brooke because Asuka came to ringside and held Becky's leg down so Dana Brooke could get the 3 count. So we had Becky Lynch job out to Dana Brooke thanks to Asuka.
And you had a babyface do a heel move to get the heel to lose to the other babyface.
Right. They decided Asuka was going to impersonate Bobby Heenan for a night.
My brain.
Down the foot. I know. If you don't get the reference to Bobby Heenan, go watch WrestleMania 5. Anyways,
I've
then
done
we
that spot a few times.
shocker, it's you. Jackass. Then they play a video package of John Cena returning to celebrate 20 years of WWE on Raw in 2 weeks. Is this laugh in reference to lack of top baby faces?
No, this is John Cena's coming back on June 27th. AEW scheduled Blood and Guts for June 29th.
And
watch
the night before.
Watch your ratings suck.
And Forbidden Doors the night before that Raw.
Yep.
Then we get Miz TV. Maurice is there because they're plugging the season premiere of Miz and Mrs. later on that night. Then Riddle comes out as a guest. And then Ciampa attacks Riddle at the end of the segment.
I'm all for a Ciampa Riddle fucking feud. I'm telling you.
And then we get Riddle beating Miz and tearing his suit pants to shreds during the match. That's always nice.
Miz has average size balls.
We're not even. Why'd you bring that up?
Because that was funny.
I was trying to get past that. It was stupid.
All I could think of when Maurice kept going up there was that scene in CB4. There's a flat. You remember the movie CB4?
Enlighten me.
Chris Rock movie where there was basically Chris Rock was in a gangster rap group. It was basically spoofing NWA. And so in the movie they were a rap group called CB4 Cell Block 4. But there's a scene at the beginning where one of the guys in the rap group is like they're all working their day jobs and he's working at he works at so he's supposed to be working as a telemarketer, but they're all stuck on these different things and he's stuck like they go to visit him. He's like, yo man, this job is nasty. And then you look and he's stuck on a gay phone sex line. So he has to pick up the phone. He's like, yeah, I'm licking your balls. Yeah, best balls I ever had. Yeah, your balls are huge. Yeah, you got King Kong balls. All right, peace. That's all I can think of with the Maurice bit.
You just pull random shit out of your ass, don't you? Then we get the Street Profits beating the Usos via countout in a contenders match. Sure.
So they can get a title shot.
Yeah,
because reasons. Because we need someone to face the Usos.
Yep. And then we get a Lashley promo. He's interrupted by Theory. Lashley challenges Theory for a U.S. title match, and Theory, whatever.
Says no.
Whatever. Then Veer beats Dominic by disqualification because Veer's about to lock in the cervical clutch on Dominic, but Ray says, fuck that mess, and attacks Veer.
Because the babyface interferes to get the other babyface DQ.
Right.
Let Veer annihilate Dominic and get Dominic off my TV.
Bump that. Let Veer end the career of Ray and put Dominic off TV for 18 months.
Yes. More Veer Mahan.
Then we get the all talked about and somewhat confusing Judgment Day segment.
The Temple of
So,
Purple is falling apart.
so here's okay. So Edge, Priest, and Rhea are doing their thing, and it was being touted all night with the Cody countdown clock how Judgment Day was going to induct a new member into their stable.
Mm-hmm.
So Edge introduces Finn Balor, who comes out in not so purple stuff and still doing the face stuff when he's doing his entrance, because
Mm-hmm.
that's fucking smart. But
Mm-hmm.
anyways, so Finn comes out and joins, and then they continue the promo, and Priest says something about how they need to cut out their weaknesses or some shit like that.
They have
And
to cut back everything that's holding them back.
right. And then they said the last thing that's holding them back is you, referring to Edge. So Finn, Priest, and Rhea jump Edge. They powerbomb Edge on the announce table. They do
Concerto.
the well before that they did
The Pillmanizer with the neck. Yep.
right, yeah. Yeah. And then the concerto. So we have Finn joining, Edge being kicked out. I'm assuming Finn becomes the leader.
Uh-huh.
Um, and all this because, according to rumor and innuendo, as Mr. Pritchard would say, um, WWE pitched to Edge about leaning Judgment Day towards becoming some kind of supernatural based group.
Yep. And he
So
said no.
basically, gonna make them a worse version of the Ministry of Darkness. That's nice. And so Edge said, fuck that mess. And that's apparently why this was done.
Yeah. So basically what they're going to do is, so now they've officially moved Edge back to the babyface side of the roster, which
Lovely.
but Edge is on borrowed time. Like Edge said, I don't know how many matches I got left in me. And we just spent half of last year doing an Edge and Roman program. So we can't really revisit that. But so here's the thing. So going back to you're short on baby faces, you just took one of your only baby faces you had left in Finn Balor and you flipped him heel to lead this stable. Obviously, they did it because this way they can bring back the demon persona. But they don't. But here's what Bruce Pritchard and John Laurinaitis don't realize is when you have Finn do the demon, people cheer.
Yep.
Not only that, but this is another not seeing the forest for the trees. There's something that they do every year in June with Finn Balor. Every year when Pride Month comes around, Finn Balor is the first person to spearhead Pride oriented merchandise because Finn's always been a big proponent of helping out Pride sponsored charities and stuff. So every June is when you see a new Balor Club is for everybody amount of merch come up on the site, and it's up on WWE Shop. But you're going to have this guy who you need to sell this babyface oriented merch with at the beginning of Pride Month, flip heel.
Yep.
Forest for the trees. Not seeing it. So now you've got all this fucking merch that isn't going to move because you just flipped Finn heel. At the same time, because there's usually a portion of the proceeds of that merch goes towards whatever charities Finn asks about.
Mm-hmm.
So you're fucking over these charities, so that kills your goodwill.
You know who else is one of the bigger proponents of that?
Go ahead.
His stablemate.
Yeah, exactly. Rhea. So you just hamstrung your merch sales because and your goodwill because Edge said I don't want to do this, but you're like, but we know that Finn does a supernatural thing, so we'll just have him lead the group, not realizing that the fans will cheer for the demon when the demon comes out. And I've gone cross-eyed. Like there's no winning in this.
No.
There is no fucking winning. And also, especially because if this leads to what people are thinking it's leading to, there would have been no point as it is. Because apparently, because some of the rumor goes that Bray Wyatt may finally be coming back. He's been gone for almost a year. He hasn't worked for any other wrestling organization. And if you want a supernatural character,
But that was part of the reason they cut him to begin with. They didn't think the supernatural shit was getting over. But now that you want to do, like, what?
this is Pritchard and Laurinaitis' fault.
No shit.
Of course, that should have been that should be the tagline at the beginning. Instead of then, now, forever, it should be WWE. This is Pritchard and Laurinaitis' fault. That should be the tagline on every television show. I'm gonna make that shirt.
By the way, on top of what you were saying about the Pride Month stuff, you know who wasn't booked for the first draw of Pride Month last week? Or any TV last week?
Oh.
Sonya Deville. Who've been all over TV the last few months.
Because she's always been an ambassador for that. Yeah, Jesus. And see, it's not, and this is what happens when your head branding officer says, I'm taking time off.
Sonya Deville only openly came out as gay on Tough Enough when she tried out. What's the point?
But you see, this is the thing is and I'm not putting the blame on Stephanie for this, but Stephanie says I'm taking time off. And they said, oh, we'll have someone competent take over your duties. Obviously, they don't have someone competent taking over her duties.
When they said that she had become incompetent recently. Tell me you saw that, by the way.
Yeah. She didn't become incompetent, but she became burnt out because she was handling her shit plus some of her husband's shit.
Plus family stuff, because Hunter wasn't healthy enough.
Right, exactly.
And it's not like the kids are little kids either. They're teenagers now.
Right. But I mean, this is just a matter of like, is Stephanie a great wrestling mind? No. But Stephanie went to college and has a business mind. And if you're going to run this company like a business, you have to have synergy throughout your freaking corporate structure.
And nothing about what she was doing had anything to do with the in-ring product anyways.
Right, but everyone always bitched. But she knew what she was doing when it came to branding, when it came to all that. She's the one that spearheaded the Be a Star stuff and all the charity stuff and the Special Olympic stuff. It's
Connor's Cure.
Right. Even the fucking Warrior Project shit.
Yeah, she's the one who expanded their reach within Special Olympics after she took over.
Right. And
there's a reason she's been on a lot of lists from Forbes and all those kind of publications. She's not a dumbass. She's a smart cookie. She knows her shit.
Right. But yeah, so now you have a part-time, partially retired guy moved to the babyface section when you had someone who rightfully should have been a babyface at least through the month of June turned heel. And so now I really want I'm going to cut into the middle of this here. I was going to wait, but I'm going to cut into the middle of this. I want us to really think about how many top tier baby faces WWE has on the main roster now. I'm going to leave my bias out the door on my opinion of people.
All right, let's start Raw. Now I guess Edge,
who is part-time and partially retired.
Cody injured. Orton injured.
Let's leave off injured. Let's talk about who is there and active.
All right. So
you got 2. You got 3 if you count Riddle.
Okay, so Riddle, Edge, and AJ.
Okay. Riddle, Lashley, and AJ. Because the Edge is, like I said, Edge is part-time.
Yeah, right. Were we counting Lashley in that group?
That's why they had him beat MVP and Omos. And that's why they had him fucking hold up that kid's fucking replica belt after the match. Like I said, I'm leaving my personal opinions of these people out and just looking at what top tier baby faces they have.
SmackDown Drew.
Yep.
Um, fuck.
Exactly.
Is Shin actually legit injured, or was that just for the sake of the tag match he had?
Legit injured.
Fuck me. Why is it all the baby faces getting hurt? Edge, Big E, Orton. Fuck.
I mean, technically, if you really want to, you could fricking try to shove Kofi into
Right.
babyface
Yeah.
contention again. But I mean, this is a conversation I had with Mike Milano back in the day when it's like I've turned when he kind of got into a spot where he's like, I have too many heels on my roster. This is what happens when everyone wants heels, everyone wants cool heels, and everyone wants tweeners. Blah blah blah. When you have a heel heavy roster, you're fucked. You're short on baby faces, and there's no way out of it. And this is the thing is all of they have been doing is pushing monster heels. Omos, Veer Mahan, Gunter, Roman, the Usos, fucking and I mean even just heels in the top tier as well. Miz, Theory, Priest, fucking.
Well, I just say Judgment Day. I wouldn't just say Priest.
Balor, yeah, Judgment Day because Priest, Balor now, yeah. You've got too many heels. There is a very big imbalance right now, and it's something that you can't solve with NXT talents.
It's
Tommaso. They brought Tommaso up, and boom, heel.
Right.
Kevin Owens, heel. I mean, what, you going to push Ezekiel?
I'm going to lean on a hard no on that one. All right. So we get Omos squashes Cedric Alexander, and then they cut off his celebration, I guess we'll call it, with the Dirty Dogs being introduced to the Gene stage.
Well, it wasn't cut off. He was done, and they were.
It was an abrupt transition, we'll call it.
Yeah. So they're flipping Dolph and Rude babyface because they don't know what else to do, because they need a tag team and they need two top tier baby faces.
Sure. Then we get Ezekiel beating Otis, who then challenges to KO for a rematch from their Hell in a Cell match. KO accepts for what's going to be tonight. And then the main event, Rhea Ripley wins the Fatal 4-Way pinning Doudrop, and now she gets a title shot against Bianca Belair at Money in the Bank in Vegas.
Which I'm all for.
Which, I mean, if you looked at the people in the match, you kind of saw that coming anyways.
Yeah.
You mentioned. We'll skip NXT for a hot moment because there's a couple of things we need to touch on. So let's just run through SmackDown quick. Drew and Sheamus goes with no contest and Money in the Bank for a Money in the Bank qualifier. They both have backstage segments with Pierce asking to be put in the Money in the Bank match. Pierce says no to both of them. So my guess, they'll probably either run it back this coming week on SmackDown, or if they have like a last chance qualifier, they'll both be in that.
I think it's better to keep both of them out of that match completely.
Well, I'm just saying, I'm not saying that they're going to run it back and have one of them get in it necessarily. I think maybe they run it back to build towards something separate for that.
Yeah.
Then they play the Cody Seth package because let's keep shoving that down our throats. Lacey Evans backstage interview. Lacey beats Xia Li in the first women's Money in the Bank qualifier. Apparently, she hurt Xia Li in the match.
Concussed her.
Lovely. By the way, Lacey Evans is basically wearing a glorified bathing suit with camouflage pants for her gear now.
It's a
That's lovely.
bodysuit.
It looks like a fucking one piece.
It does, but that's
Um,
because that's what bodysuits look like. But the thing is, the way you properly wear a bodysuit is you wear your pants around your waist.
really?
Yeah.
Never mind. Then we get a promo package about the Viking Raiders returning to SmackDown soon. Thank God. More faces because they need
Mm-hmm.
it.
Yeah.
Then we get Ronda beating Shotzi, and then Ronda getting jumped by Natalia after the match because Natalia's the next person up for a title match. Um, then they return and they show Ronda in the trainer's room saying she's a serious injury and her status for Money in the Bank is in question. No, it's not. Whatever. Shut the fuck up. If it is, I haven't seen anything about it, but I
Right.
doubt it. Then we have Gunther beat Ricochet to become the new Intercontinental Champion. Color me shocked. No. Then the main event, Riddle beats Sami Zayn to earn a shot at Roman Reigns for the undisputed Universal title this coming week on SmackDown.
Yeah, it's happening on SmackDown instead of at the pay per view. But here's all the naysayers going. Roma hadn't defended the belt at this point. Guess what? Now you get it for free on free TV. So fuck off.
Well, something tells me it's going to be a schmoz, and then Riddle gets a rematch. Well, no. Uh, one of two things: either Roman wins outright, or it's a schmoz and Riddle gets a rematch of Money in the Bank.
I don't know if it'll be Money in the Bank.
You think they just run it back the following week on TV?
I don't think the following week on TV. I think they're going to draw it out.
Which I'll get to later. Um, Also booked for this coming week on SmackDown, they've booked Moss and Corbin in what's called a last laugh match. Sure. In other words, they're trying to blow off the angle somehow, and they're going to call it the last laugh match because Moss made Corbin laugh. Yeah.
Like it'd be nice
Um,
if it was like a loser leaves town match. Something. Yeah, like here, this is just battle of the mid card staleness.
basically. And they also said that Max Dupree was stuck in Europe. That's nice. So Max Dupree is going to unveil Maximum Male Models this coming week on TV as well.
Yep.
Sure. We'll go with that. All right. Now we get to the clusterfuck of stuff we need to address with NXT.
Uh-huh.
We'll get to what happened over the weekend in a minute, but let's just rule through their TV first.
Mm-hmm.
We had an opening statement with Mello, Solo Sikoa, and Waller. Grayson Waller.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if that's really a good accent, but I tried.
By the way, before you start, have you seen the results for the next 2 weeks of tapings?
I've seen.
Because I have.
I've seen. Only stuff I've seen is revolving around Braun Breaker.
Yeah, no, I've seen all the results. So.
All right, I have not, but so we'll touch on that. Mello Solo Waller segment around the North American title. Sure, cool.
Because Solo got next, but apparently Solo ain't got next.
Because Grayson Waller says so. Then the D'Angelo family arrives, and Tony D tells Santos, "You have a match tonight." Hold on. Then we get Josh. This is the first thing that confused me on the show, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
So you've spent all this time building up Von Wagner by having him beat up on little dudes.
Yep.
But when he faces somebody his own size, he fucking loses.
Yep.
Sure.
Makes reasons, sense. Baby.
Josh Briggs beats him. Sure.
Yep. Which Briggs, I'm sorry, but deserving.
Well, yeah, but it just goes against every fiber of everything they had done the last 3 months. But whatever. Then they have Solo Sikoa challenge Waller and Mello to a match later that night. It gets publicized as a handicap match. More on that later. Then there's a backstage segment between Chase U and Pretty Deadly. because apparently there's a tag match scheduled for that night with
Yeah,
Buddy
it was.
Leonard and Andre Chase against Pretty Deadly. More on that.
Mhm.
Then we have Frazier. Nathan Frazier beats Santos Escobar because Santos keeps getting distracted by Tony D, who's telling him to wrestle differently. Nobody likes that lucha style. Blah 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 blah.
Mhm.
That's fucking nice. Just shit on a whole style of wrestling from Mexico. Um,
Yep.
then we get Zion Quinn doing a backstage interview. Sure, whatever. Who cares? Um, then Braun Breaker and Apollo Cruz have a segment together. Cruz, sure. Apollo Cruz apparently is no longer Nigerian prince with the staff and the accent. He's just Yuhan Nation again. Um,
And apparently Aziz has been moved back to the NXT roster as well.
correct. And there's no indication about what he's going to do yet.
Yeah.
He's just there. Um, Then we get a Gacy pre-tape with his druid-looking people. Oh wait, no. First we had a video package about the women's breakout tournament, whose final match was later in the night. Then we get a Gacy pre-tape with his druid-looking things, in which he says the druids are fighting an attack match this coming week.
Mhm.
Sure.
Which didn't even happen. It ended up being a singles match.
So we got Ding and Dong from the Ding
By the
Dong.
way, they're not druids, they're dryads.
We're changing the pronunciation of the fucking word.
No,
For
it's
Joe
it's it's
Gacy.
it's a different. No. It's a different. It's like because I was reading the results from thing. So druids are actual a race of Celtic people. Dryads, Dryad, are a mythical creature from the forest.
So Joe Gacy is a mythical creature from the forest.
No, but the people in cloaks are.
So Joe Gacy is what, a fucking gnome?
Who the fuck knows at this point?
He's a gnome with all worldly powers over dryads because he has the power of the trees within him. Because he hugs trees. I don't
Because
fucking
he's an
know.
evil hippie. Yes.
Because he eats leaves. I don't fucking know. He eats his salads. He likes his salads. He doesn't like tossing salad, but he likes eating salad.
I
Um,
mean, he has lost weight since getting to WWE.
Not the reference I was making, but okay.
I know, but
Yeah, how did sexual joke into something meaningful? Um, Anyways, Roxanne Perez beats Tiffany Stratton to win the women's breakout tournament. Thank God. Because I don't know what I would have done if that fucking no, just no. Uh, the
Mhm,
Toxic Attraction interrupts the celebration. Brawl breaks out. Indy Hartwell comes out and helps out Cora Jade and Roxy, and
mhm,
that sets up a six-woman tag for the following week on NXT.
mhm.
Go ahead.
Well, okay, so with the next 2 weeks of pre-tapes in the can, there's a whole bunch of shit they switched around. So the Dryads didn't have a tag match. It was one of them versus who had a squash match. Um, they're flipping Carter and Chance heel because Roxanne Perez made mention of possibly going after the women's tag belts. So Carter and Chance said, "You ain't happen. That ain't happening," and beat the shit out of her. They had Von Wagner beat Jensen, so that's how he gets his revenge on Briggs.
Oh, he beat the dude that had the fake cast on. Okay.
Yeah. Um, they're not doing like number one. What did I say last week about what are they going to do with Braun Breaker? They're going to bring another main roster guy down as a stopgap,
Mm-hmm.
which is what we thought Apollo was going to be there for. But oh no, that's not who Braun Breaker is defending the title against at a Great American Bash.
I mean, I know who he's defending against this week and next week. You want to enlighten me?
Great American Bash, he's defending the title against Cameron Grimes.
Oh yeah, I did see that. Yeah, because they had a promo segment or some shit like that.
Yeah, no, yeah, they had him beat the crap out of Duke Hudson some more because let's just completely keep crushing Duke Hudson. I mean, I'm
Yeah,
not the big, like I've never been the biggest proponent of Brandon Vink, but Jesus, give the guy a chance.
right. And then they had him face Gacy again for the second week of tapings.
Yep.
because we really needed a different conclusion to that
Yep.
that we didn't already get it in your house. Sure.
And then I'll let you get to the whole fuckery of the D'Angelo family.
Did the Dryad wrestle in the Dryad costume?
I don't know. I only saw the result. I didn't
Oh,
see
I
what it
can't wait
was.
to fucking see that chicanery. Um, you're a Dryad. You're gonna wear that robe and you're gonna fucking like it. That's probably what Bruce said. Um, so before the apparent tag match that was gonna happen between Pretty Deadly and Chase U, they show Bodie getting having been jumped backstage and he
Yeah.
accused Pretty Deadly when Andre asked him. So then Andre came out alone for that match. We'll get to that in a second.
But then they had the chick come out and join him and get on the apron and slap one of Pretty Deadly. So I was like, oh, they're going to get something interesting. Nope, never gets tagged in, and Andre Chase just gets crushed.
Right, because they don't do intergender tag matches. They do mixed
Then
tag matches. They
don't
do.
tease it.
You're not telling me anything I don't think already. Before we get to that, what turned into a handicap match, we get Wendy Chu attempting to get interviewed. Tiffany Stratton jumps in front of her and tries taking over the interview because she's Tiffany Stratton and she's a diva and a bitch and
I
whatever.
can't stand this fucking gimmick at all.
And then eventually Wendy Chu just tosses a drink in Stratton's face. That's okay. Then Pretty Deadly beats Andre Chase, even though Bodie tries crawling out from the back to help out Chase. It doesn't work out. Then we get a backstage seg between Mello, Trick, and Tony D. I don't remember what the fuck that was about. I'm assuming
that was
the American title. I don't know.
It was basically Mello, like, kind of healing on Tony and Tony going, I control the bingo around here.
Oh, yeah, some shit like that, yeah. Then Alba Fire beats Tatum Paxley. And then Alba gets jumped by Lash Legend because reasons.
Because they have a match next week on NXT where Lash Legend gets DQ'd for using Alba's bat on her.
Sure, that story makes sense. Then we get my brain hurts. This was a segment that I think hurt my brain the most out of anything on NXT this week, and I don't know why it bothered me so much. So, Diamond Mine is backstage. Or in their gym. I don't know what the fuck they were in. Whatever.
Yep.
The Creeds are happy about winning the tag titles. And at first, Roddy's happy with them. Then, Enofe and Black come in.
Blade,
my bad. I know.
You do that every week.
I'm horrible remembering their fucking names. Idris and Malik. There.
Yeah.
Done. They come in and basically challenge the Creeds for a tag title shot. The Creeds, who are acting like faces, by the way, during this whole segment, they yeah, sure, fuck it, why not? We'll defend our belts next week against you. And then Roddy gets pissed about them accepting the challenge and being fighting champions, and then storms off like an angry father. Like,
because they're having the Creeds play baby faces now that they're the tag champs because the crowd cheered when they won the belts because the crowd was made up of friends and family.
I'm just going to turn Roddy into an angry midget leader. Like, that's what we're doing?
They're going to have Roddy kick him out of Diamond Mine.
How about we have Roddy just leave WWE? Can we do that?
He's got 3 years left on that contract.
Then we get a vignette for Giovanni Vinci, and it's finally revealed that it's basically Fabian Eichner repackaged.
Hey, you know something? Good for him. Fabian Eichner's a fucking horse, and if he can get some personality out of this, I think it will work. I think it'll work.
We'll see. Then we get to the main event, which is Mello and wait for it. Hold on.
Trick.
It was Trick that was his part?
Yeah.
No, it was Waller. It was Waller.
Oh, that's right.
Mello and Waller. They're introduced first for the match. Then they introduced Solo under the assumption it was still a handicap match. And then Solo's like, yeah, I found somebody. Turns out it's Apollo Crews. No big deal.
Yeah.
So Solo and Apollo end up beating Waller and Mello in a tag match to end the show.
Yeah. So basically, during the tapings that are coming up, Waller goes over on Solo. So basically Great American Bash. We're gonna get a three-way for the North American with Mello, Waller, and Solo because God forbid we don't have Grayson Waller in a fucking match.
Or just God forbid we dumb things down. And I know they just had a regular singles match for that title, but why does it seems like almost every other match involving the North American title has to be some cockamamie shit.
It is,
Whether it's a multi-way ladder match or a triple threat, like fuck off with
and
this
it's
stuff.
and this is because
It's overbooking.
it's overbooking, but it's also because people were all over Cameron Grimes getting that North American title with the whole story about his dead dad and shit. And then the second he got that title, the crowd was like, "Okay, you got your moment, but fuck you. We like Solo Sikoa more now." So the crowd fucking turned on Cameron, and it was all about the crowd, who, mind you, family and friends
Right.
are all behind Solo, which nothing against Solo Sikoa. Kid's got talent, but they were all behind Solo. So then they're like, oh, Bruce is like, well, this crowd is cheering for Solo. So we're going to have to put this on, but we're not going to do babyface versus babyface. So you know something? We're going to have to put the title back on Carmelo. So that way Solo can get the big win over the heel to do it. But you know something? We really got to push Grayson Waller. So we're going to put Waller into that, and we're probably going to have Waller win the North American title. So that way, when Solo finally wins this title in 6 months, when nobody fucking cares anymore.
But this goes back to the whole problem we've been saying the entire time since they launched NXT 2.0.
Uh-huh.
As much as it may hurt because it's an age old thing that they do in wrestling where you listen to your fan base. That's the one fan base in wrestling you can't listen to. Well, no, correction. It's one of the two fan bases you can't listen to, the other being the AEW fan base. But,
Right.
anyways, you can't listen to the NXT fan base because it's not a true wrestling fan base.
Right.
And these motherfuckers keep booking based on how they're reacting, which isn't going to fucking work. It's going to cause people to want to crush your little neck,
Right.
Richard, just like me and JJ.
Right. It's the same crowd every fucking week, and it's the same people that it's predominantly family and friends. We've been saying this. Even like Andre Chase was supposed to be a huge fucking heel, but what happens when you go to the family and friends and go, "Hey, you want to be part of this show? If we have you wear this red sweater and wave this flag," and all of a sudden Chase U is the biggest thing. Why? Because you're letting the crowd in on the gimmick. You never fucking let people do that. And that's how Andre Chase became a fucking babyface.
But it's Bruce Pritchard. He's all knowing.
Fucking Pritchard and Laurinaitis who need to fucking stop. It's Laurinaitis bringing in female talent because he's like, oh yeah, I saw these guys jacking off to this chick, so bring her in. And then Bruce Pritchard going, okay, boss.
Oh my god. I can't.
And that's why we've been saying, hey, you know something? Maybe when people go on these, when they make them do these fucking little house shows again, they'll learn. Oh, did they learn?
Speaking of little house shows, two things happened of note.
Good segue, huh?
Number one, Tony D apparently got hurt during the first house show loop back for NXT this weekend. Hurt his shoulder.
It's like he was too green to be in the ring, huh?
No official report about what the severity of the injury is, but we'll see. My assumption, because it's a shoulder and not, say, a leg, they'll at least find a way to keep him around TV, but who the fuck knows? The other part of it, speaking of the family, they've gone from 7 members to 6 because Two Dimes, also known as Troy Donovan, got released for what's being called a policy issue.
Which I'm guessing is wellness.
Yeah, because there's been no explanation to explicitly define what that policy issue was. Donovan has since come out, by the way, and commented on his release, to which he has said Thank you to everyone who's reached out. Mistakes happen and lessons are learned. A bump in the road doesn't define me, though. I'll be back. That's what he said.
Yeah.
Um,
Keep saying that motherfucker. That motherfucker just got signed 3 months ago.
and now he
He's
gone.
done.
So yeah, that's that. That's the two things of note that happened over the weekend with them. Um, yeah, that's rough weekend for the family, huh?
Yeah, it's kind of like maybe you shouldn't push guys to the moon who have only been there for 3 months because shit like this happens.
Yeah. Uh, all right. Two other topics we got to cover, and then we're gonna get the fuck out of here. Number one. Now, if you have been following the show since inception, first of all, thank you very much. Chef's kiss. Uh, Second of all, for those who have not been following this show since the beginning, allow me to inform you about something that happened last year. Last year, we were going into the Money in the Bank qualifying matches as a short bus is somehow outside my house for some reason.
They're coming for you.
A yellow short bus. No, they're not coming for me. It's somebody being dropped off from school. It's 2:16. That's about right. As I looked, I just broke down the fourth wall, looked at my wrist, and there's no time. I saw the time on the laptop. Um,
Well, I wish I could say, but I got a thing.
yeah, I got a thing. Let me look at the time on the computer while looking at my wrist that has no watch. Um, so last year, before the Money in the Bank qualifying matches even started, I sat here and said, Big E's going to win Money in the Bank. What did he do? He won Money in the Bank.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to sit here and not just give you a prediction for who's going to win each Money in the Bank ladder match. I know we've already officially had a men's and women's qualifying match, but Lacey Evans is not winning the ladder match, and Drew and Sheamus went to no contest. So you don't even have a fucking qualifier for the men yet.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to sit here and not only tell you who's going to win both ladder matches, I'm also going to sit here and tell you who's going to win the Royal Rumble in January. Both matches. Yeah. I'm going to fucking do it right here, right now. Monday, June 13th, 2022. I'm going to tell you the winners of both Money in the Bank ladder matches and the winners of both Royal Rumble matches. Right here, right now. Are you ready for this, JJ?
Sure.
Okay. Money in the Bank winners.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to say on the men's side. Now, on the men's side, you might say, oh, this is too obvious. Reasons. I'm going to go with Riddle.
Okay.
I just like they've been pushing Riddle's. It's one of those things where it goes back to the logic I had for Big E last year. They pushed him so much, like it's just the most obvious glaring choice. But for whatever reason, when it comes to the men's side, they tend to go with the most obvious glaring choice for whatever reason.
Mm-hmm.
Aside from like when Sandow won it the one time,
Mm-hmm.
or when I think
Otis won it,
or Baron Corbin. Like, there's been a few times where they've not gone with the obvious choice, but for the most part in the men's match, they go with the obvious choice. So I'm calling Riddle right now. I'm just gonna call it and go with Riddle.
Okay.
The women's side, I'm going with because the women's side hasn't been quite as predictable. But I think this one we can call from a mile away if we're being honest with ourselves. Because it's basically the only thing she hasn't done in her career yet. So why not just have her do it and get it over with? I think Charlotte Flair is going to win the women's Money in the Bank.
Okay, I could see that.
Just because she has been on TV since she dropped the belt at WrestleMania Backlash.
Mm-hmm.
She was. I think she was on the week after that on SmackDown, but she hasn't been seen since then. So she hasn't been seen in basically 5-6 weeks. So she's been kind of out of sight, out of mind. I think this is one of those things where she either happens to show up like the SmackDown before Money in the Bank and qualify last minute, or they just have a spot in the match where she's a surprise entry into the match. Just it's going to be some weird chicanery where she gets in and wins the briefcase.
Okay.
Now, the Rumble winners. This goes back to what I was not correcting you on, but changing the dialogue about.
Okay.
On the men's side, I know they've been shoving it down our throats about how Cody's going to be out 9 months. But this is why I'm saying he's not going to be out 9 months. I think now this sets up a perfect opportunity where if they've been really trying to push Cody to the moon like they have been, you're now going to give him an opportunity to walk right back in, very John Cena-esque. He's going to be back and healthy by Rumble. He's going to come back and win the Rumble match. I know you don't like it, but the way they were pushing, listen.
He might be in the Rumble. He's not winning it.
I just think he's going to win the Rumble because
Dude, Rock is winning the Rumble next year.
you don't have to have Rock win the Rumble to earn a match with Roman.
Yeah, you do, because Roman's still going to be champ.
You don't have to have Rock win it.
Yeah, you do.
No, you don't. But anyways.
What are you going to do? Have Cody drop his chance against Rock?
It's fucking Dwayne. You think Vince gives a shit about semantics?
I'm telling you this right now. They're going to go for that Cody pop, and then that pop is going to be superseded when Rock's music hits.
So
10 minutes later.
So they're going to fuck with him the way they fucked with Daniel Bryan in Philadelphia when they had Roman win the Royal Rumble.
You're going to get the pop that the crowd wants, but the crowd's going to pop bigger.
All right. I'm going to stick by Cody. I'm going to stick with Cody. You can stick with Dwayne. Go ahead. The Women's Rumble, I've been torn about two different women all week. The one woman that one of the two I was torn about has been sight unseen for weeks because of the drama involving her tag team title.
Mm-hmm.
So, based on good faith and not knowing what the fuck's going on with that situation, I cannot sit here right now and name her the winner as much as I want to because I feel like it's going to be her. So, I'm going to go with Alexa Bliss. Because Alexa, again, like Charlotte, has done basically everything else so far in her career except win the Royal Rumble. She won Money in the Bank. She's held the title on both brands. Logically speaking, I just think that makes them... Here's what it comes down to. In my mind, I had it between her and Sasha Banks. Because, again, Sasha has won the title on both sides. And the only thing she hasn't done yet is, I believe she hasn't won Money in the Bank, if I'm correct. I don't think she's won that. And she hasn't won a Rumble match yet. So that's why I was debating between those two. I'll see Bayley maybe being a wild card depending how good she is coming off of injury if she ever fucking returns.
Oh, she'll be back soon enough. I think she's going to be a surprise. She's going to be surprised for Money in the Bank. I think it's too far out to call, but if I was going to say anything now, I think Raquel's going to be the one to win the Women's Rumble next year.
Raquel, again, it's one of those things where I'm just going with gut and I'm not fully... I'm going to commit myself to the answer and stick with Alexa Bliss, but it's just one of those things where I think that's the one prediction out of the four where I'm the most shaky on just because, like you said, between how far out we are and the fact that there's a lot that could change based on shit behind the scenes and stuff. It's the one I'm the most shaky on. Let's just say that. But I'm going to stick with Alexa as my answer. So there we go. There's my bold predictions. Watch, I'm gonna get shit all over, and Bayley's gonna win Money in the Bank, and I'm gonna look like a fucking fool in about 3 weeks. But whatever. There's one last thing I want to cover though before we get out of here.
Oh, I have something too.
I'll let you say your thing then before I say mine.
I've got it behind the Blackball, so it kind of came up out of nowhere last night. So.
Oh, okay. Then let me get this. No, fuck it. Let's go to your thing before we get to my thing because your thing's gonna change the mood of this show. I kind of want to end a little funny, so you go ahead and do your behind the Blackball, ladies and gentlemen. Behind the Blackball with Mr. JJ Alexander.
This is the behind the Blackball that should have happened long ago, but I didn't think of it because I didn't think I don't know if the dude's got. This dude has been a shitbag in the wrestling industry, especially in New England, for a long ass time. But apparently something else just came out about him recently where I can't anymore. Like Holyoke Joe. No, he is a referee. He's a very, very bad referee. Like before in my early days, before the days of Will Dogen, there was Holyoke Joe. Holyoke Joe was made famous by being on Bubba the Love Sponge and having a full back tattoo of Hulk Hogan put on his back. He's appeared there's been WWE pay-per-views where he's paid for a barricade seat so he could show off the back tattoo as Hogan's going by. Holyoke Joe has done many awful things. I mean, during the time he was a referee, he would bold-faced tell people fucking stories that were blatant lies. Like, you know the story I told about the night I spent, I spent, bullshitting with Scott Hall and him telling stories in my hotel room. Yeah, it's funny because literally the week after that happened, Holyoke Joe he was at one of our TV tapings telling someone else this elaborate story about Scott Hall stealing someone's car that night and a police chase ensuing and all this shit where no, Scott Hall was chilling in my hotel room. But anyways, I digress. So Holyoke Joe tried some shit a few years back. It was actually at Eric Newton's memorial show where he basically cornered Billy King in the parking lot, like blocked Billy King's car, and basically tried starting an altercation with Billy. And then after Billy got away, called the cops and claimed Billy hit his car and ran, which never happened. Holyoke Joe was involved in a fiasco, I think a couple of years ago now, where he decided to pull an insurance scam where he paid someone to steal his car and crash it so that he could collect the money for the car being stolen and totaled. And the dude that stole his car and crashed it went through the windshield and hit a wall and died. So Holyoke Joe already has one body to his name. Apparently, Holyoke Joe sold fentanyl to someone who OD'd in the past couple of weeks, as I just found out last night. Oh, back it up. And I really hate that I have to back it up because that is the biggest shitbag thing in the world to do. But remember how I said prior to Will Dojan, there was Holyoke Joe? So while I do not care for either individual, the RPW show in Holyoke where that we ran as a charity show where I managed Johnny Idol, Will Dojan's wallet got stolen out of the locker room at that show. It was stolen by Holyoke Joe.
Great guy.
And I completely forgot. But yeah. So Holyoke Joe now has two bodies, two lives. Two people have died because of actions by one Holyoke Joe. So if you are in the Northeast area and this shitbag, if he doesn't go to jail at any time soon, ever shows up at your show, a show you are booked on, a show you are promoting, any of that, tell him to get the fuck out. Seriously. This man is a cancer upon not only the wrestling industry, but the world itself.
Yeah. Sounds like it. A couple quick news and notes before we get into the final thing I want to mention. Extreme Rules is officially going to take place at the Wells Fargo Center Sunday, October 8th, which I do believe is in Philadelphia. Yep, Philadelphia. So the remaining pay-per-view, or excuse me, the remaining premium live event schedule for WWE. Money in the Bank in Vegas, SummerSlam Outdoors in Nashville, Clash of the Castle, Extreme Rules in Philly, Crown Jewel at Riyadh, and Survivor Series in Boston. And then no mention of a December show yet. Probably not because they're probably going to do day one again. Did you know AEW was going to do a third Battle of the Belts show this coming August?
No, I'm sure they didn't either.
Tickets went on sale over the weekend for their debut in Grand Rapids, Michigan, which will involve AEW Rampage and Battle of the Belts 3, which will be August 5th. Now, I don't know if they're actually televising Battle of the Belts that night or if they're going to tape it for the following week that night or whatever, but they're advertising both events taking place from the Van Andel Arena in Grand Rapids because reasons. Final thing to bring up for the show.
Ha!
And this goes beyond the retirement match that he's having. Ric Flair, somebody needs to stop him. Stop him. Stop him! Number one, for whatever reason, and I know this is not happening, rumors are circling over the last week about Hulk Hogan wanting to come out of retirement and be part of this final match that he's having at StarCast in Nashville the weekend of SummerSlam. No, 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 no! Just no. I know Hulk is a money grubbing whore, but no.
Dude,
What?
I'm sorry to break in on you in this. Jeff Hardy got arrested on another DUI last night.
Oh, Jeff.
Oh, but Jeff is clean and sober because Matt said so. Fuck every basement goblin that defended his ass.
Jeff.
12:45 a.m. Driving while license canceled, suspended, revoked, violation of restrictions placed on driver's license, and DUI, alcohol, drugs, third offense within 10 years.
Why? Who is letting him behind the wheel of a vehicle knowing his license is suspended?
Matt.
Where the fuck is Jeff's wife?
I don't know.
Like, can we save that for next week? Because I have there's a whole list of shit bubbling through my brain about that. Can we table that for next week?
Okay.
Just remind me, okay? Send me the link actually you just got for that, please. Anyways, back to the Ric Flair's thing. This is not me, by the way, trying to sweep the Jeff Hardy story under the rug. It's so abrupt. I have so many thoughts about it. We don't have time. Anyways, back to Ric Flair stuff. Number one, if you really think Hogan is actually going to come out of retirement,
no.
Talk to Hogan's back about that. Number one.
And his hips.
Basically everything on Hogan from the neck down to the knees. Number two, he's taking top rope bumps in training, man.
I saw.
God help me. God help me. Number three, I don't know if you saw any photos from the last couple weeks, including the wedding with Andrade and Charlotte. So much for that divorce, huh? Him and Wendy have been all over the last week or two.
Oh.
Together, happy, wedding ring still on. Save Rick from himself. He can't make up his fucking mind. Pick number 3, my lord. No, we're on to number 4. Did you hear what Rick said in his most recent podcast?
No, I don't listen to Rick's podcast because I have to deal with Conrad.
He doesn't want StarCast to be his last match.
Of course not.
He wants another match against somebody very specific the same weekend as StarCast. Do you want to take a guess as to what event he's referring to?
SummerSlam against Vince. I heard about that.
Yeah. Did he not watch WrestleMania?
Maybe he did.
No. In fact, here's what I would say. If Vince, I know he's surrounded by a bunch of guppy yes men, but if Vince ever mentions the words, I'm getting in the ring again, somebody fucking shut him down. No. Which brings me to the final piece of needing to save Rick from himself. Jerry Briscoe, in an interview this past week, this is a long quote, so bear with me.
Maybe I have Jerry Briscoe in that 6-man.
Do you want
Jerry can still stretch the fuck out of everyone. Go ahead.
Go ahead. Reach through the computer screen and punch you in the fucking face? Jerry's had health issues almost as much as Rick in the recent years. Anyways, quote from Jerry Briscoe. I told him how much I'm concerned, not as a foe or anything, but I'm concerned as a lifelong friend. You look around during our era and there's not many left. He had gone through such horrific health issues the last couple of years. If you're a friend, you don't want to see a friend do that. I'm not going to watch it. I'll probably get heat again when this gets out. I had to read that correctly. I'm not going to watch it. I'll tune into the internet, but I'm just not going to contribute by watching it. Got a goddamn pacemaker and it worries me. I've talked to doctors and a certain bump in the wrong direction or a certain chop or anything like that, and that thing can dislodge and he can drop dead. I don't want to see Ric Flair drop dead. I don't want to be a part of that, but I wish him well. Thank you, Jerry fucking Briscoe. We've only been saying that for weeks now.
Yes.
Like,
Okay.
I like.
Okay.
Is there nobody around Rick that doesn't get that through their fucking heads?
Nah, bro.
Like, I get Conrad's his fucking son-in-law, but anyone, Conrad, Andrade, Charlotte, Megan, David, somebody, fucking Wendy, anyone. Is anyone fucking not mental in that family to at least have half a brain to say, Pa, don't fucking do this? Like, what? What are we doing? What are we doing as a society where we're gonna allow Ric Flair to get in the ring with a fucking pacemaker in his 70s and wrestle another match? Dude, no. No. Do us all a favor, Rick. Don't don't go through with this. Just have Conrad give out refunds. Fuck off with this. Or find somebody else to fill your shoes as the legend in that match. You don't have to do it. You don't have to. You haven't had to wrestle for 10 years, really, but you fucking did anyways for a little while. Stop. Let it go. Let it go. Anyways, do you have anything else you'd like to add, JJ, before we wrap up?
Nah. It's just
All right.
let's see if that ladder match actually happens on Wednesday now or not.
Why? Oh.
Hearings this morning and see if Tony Khan offers bail money.
Oh. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Yeah. In good faith, though, can you really go through with that? I know it's Tony Khan. I know, but
That was the other part of that question.
how in good faith can you let him get in a wrestling ring? Let alone on TV.
We'll see if the match happens or not.
Oh, the match is going to happen. It's just a matter now of, do you have it be one team versus one team, or do you keep it a triple threat and just abandon anything that makes sense in this world?
Or they throw some other random ass team in there that's not FTR.
You know who's licking their chops?
Who?
Because we know this guy loves taking advantage of situations like this. Rocky Romero. Just sitting there. Rocky's like, I got it, boss. Anyways, sorry. It's Rocky Romero. He'll take advantage of any fucking situation.
True story.
Anyways, that's going to do it. That's episode 54 of White Heat, presented by Godzilla Media. Sponsored by our friends at Mohawk Honda, as well as SeatGeek. Don't forget SeatGeek.com. Any ticket purchase over $50, type in the promo word GOZ, G-O-Z. Get $20 off the purchase, so you can get 3 tickets to Forbidden Door for the price of 2. Any hooser, follow us on Twitter. I'm at Brian Cady, all is one word, BRIANCADY. He's at JJ_Alexander. Questions, comments, concerns, gripes, updates on Jeff Hardy being arrested. Brian.Cady at GodzillaMedia.com. Don't forget, if you're listening on audio only, rate and subscribe to the show. If you're watching on YouTube, like and subscribe to the channel. Hit the notification bell so you know anytime shows are uploaded. That being said, enjoy your week of wrestling. Hopefully we get more Money in the Bank qualifiers, considering the show is in 3 weeks. Fake watch. Hi, that's me. So JJ, say fuck AEW.
Fuck AEW.